Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an SCF cast of an SCL match between the Savrip Prime and Baywatch. And joining me is actually not JP, it is Jareen. He's joining me very last second here, so let me just update this right now. Jareen, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing all right. I just was having a couple drinks and decided I wanted to cast a game. I don't know.
That's how it's done. That is how it's done. Let's see. We are waiting for these guys to give us the deets on the room here. But looking at it right now, this is a Group A match between Savrip and Baywatch. Both teams haven't had the season they wanted to. Baywatch kind of turning around in round 2, and they're hoping to finish top. I mean, they're going to finish top 4, but in the top 1 or 2 here to have a good positioning. Savrip also not having a great season, but they're hoping to do much better. They did have a bad loss to Tempest already, so they're hoping to get a 2-0 here tonight. Jareen, any thoughts on tonight's match while we wait for them to set up the password here?
Well, I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not super plugged in, other than I did know that both teams weren't having the season they wanted. So this will be interesting to see from a who can grab the bull by the horns and kind of control their destiny here perspective.
Yep, I expect this to be right now. My feelings are split. I think Baywatch has really kind of corrected the course on their season. Savrip, on the meanwhile, need to show that they have the fortitude to hold off here. A lot of people probably coming in would think Savrip 2-0, but I'm gonna say a split here right now. We'll see though if Savrip can turn it around here. They just got the game up, so I'm gonna jump in here. I'll get Jambles up in 2 seconds again. This game. What do you from a player perspective, Jareen? Do you think any big player names come to mind that you think had to be impactful here for either side to win?
For me, it's always the farm. The farm has to come through and not die. That's basically it for me. If the farm cannot die either by being better or by being protected by the support, then you're gonna have an easier time.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I need to look at the map. I didn't see what the map was. But I absolutely agree. I think both teams here, especially, are very objective oriented in terms of their play. I just DM'd you the password, by the way. So I expect it, like you said, to be a very farm-centric game. What map are they on? How much work I put into tonight's thing. They're on Galatan tonight. So yeah, farm is very important here. Although I think some quick picks from either side is going to be very important. I'm going to look here to Had Sagan from Savrip side to do some work in terms of trying to put the pressure on, but Baywatch are very good with mixing up their rosters and trying to do crafty stuff in order to throw off the opponents here.
Well, this is post Fincar Baywatch, right? So are they more normal or are they still insane? So.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? It's funny because we've been seeing them go more back to the 2-2-1, but still they kind of bring out weird stuff every now and then. And even the B-Wing is always a possibility with these guys because they put a lot of work into it.
Fair enough.
Let me tell them that we are ready. Have a sip here.
Okay, so I actually see the rosters now, and I can sort of bullshit something here. So is Revenge Brandon? Yes, is he farming still, or is he support?
See, that's a good question here. Like I said, they can really mix up the lineup here. I think Daitenchi
has to farm, right?
I think Daitenchi's farming.
Yeah. So then it would be Daitenchi and Brandon, and then Power Paladin
in the support, right?
Pally is supporting now.
He has played support here because I see. Oh no, Spoon could be in support. You're right, Spoon is probably going to be in support here, and you're right. I would say that Pally and Daitenchi are going to be the bombers here because Disco. No, I know. I'm gonna take it back. I think Pally goes flex with Disco, and Daitenchi and Brandon go
According to
bomber.
Rain here, I am totally out of the loop. So yeah, that's news to me. I mean, the hallmark of them has always been everyone can do everything, right?
Yeah,
So which has benefits and downsides. When you don't have specialists, maybe you're not the top of your position, but when you have people that are super flexible, you can do a lot of interesting things. So it's a trade off, right?
exactly. And they can shift mid game, especially in a map like Galatan, right? There's time to shift mid game if you think something is not working and you need to adapt here. But I expect on the flip side, Savrip Prime to come out 2-2-1. That's just how they're built. They're a very traditional squad, so we'll see how that goes. If you guys want to jamble, the jambles are up. So go ahead and spend your raccoon points.
I think I need to see to feel good about Savrip. I need to see Platt and Quinn get out of this opening unmolested here, or at least protected. Both of them can do very well on their own, but sometimes they can tend to sell out occasionally, right?
Agreed.
So they need to not greed, need to not sell out, let Lauren protect them, and hopefully Sagan and Hod can buy in some time by killing one or two farmers.
Especially because they have the advantage here, right? The TIE fighters tend to not break up in weird ways on this map versus, say, Empire with the Echelon, right? The Echelon really gets weird once it gets into the rocks, so they have to be 50-50 on the farm battle going into the first minute and give their X-Wings the time to burn that Raider and get ahead. So I agree with you here. We'll see how this goes.
I just now saw, again, last minute, just now saw this is Galatan, so that's more interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see who can use the rocks to their cover here.
Whoops, my bad, guys. Let me go to the actual cast thing here. Sorry, I am an idiot. I forgot to actually put it into the cast mode. SCL coverage, there it is. Sorry. Here we go. Flying out in Empire is Baywatch. Flying out in NR is Savrip Squadron. For the person, nope, page down for pilots. Yep, Brandon and Disco is gonna fly bomber. Interesting. Daitenchi, as expected, was support. So let's see how this goes.
Pally and Spoon and the defenders. And Sagan's in a B-Wing.
They're doing the Yub!
In a B-Wing.
They're doing the Yub. 2 Y-Wings, 2 U-Wings, and a B-Wing coming out here. Let's see what happens. Looks like Baywatch has the early farm, but Savrip is staying with it. Let's see where Sagan is going with this. He's going to go bomb that Raider. He's got to be very quick. He's taking heavy pressure right now.
He's under heavy pressure, yep.
Oh, he botches his run, only getting 86 damage, and now he's down. Great coverage.
He got ran over by Pally. It was a ram kill.
Oh my god, great coverage from Pally. This means that Savrip now needs to start farming their butts off because they are behind on this. There goes the Raider damage.
Corvette's under attack. They're way ahead here.
Yep, Hod is trying to put pressure on Daitenchi, trying to keep the support out of it. I think, pick from Savrip. Spoon goes down. They're kind of back on even feet here. They gotta get there comes the farm. This is gonna be interesting. Jareen, what do you think?
I don't know. They're way ahead on Baywatch is way ahead on Corvette. I think they got it. Yep.
They got it. Yep. So this is gonna go first way towards Baywatch. They're gonna start pushing here. Daitenchi.
Your stream is black, homie.
Oh, it is? Fuck. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Jareen, you keep casting.
Baywatch is going in on the frigate here. They've got some ion missiles off on it. Spoon has just rejoined. Shields are at half on Charlie. Got some classic loops here by all the players. No Baywatch players under attack at the minute. Revenge is about a half, but no one's really actively shooting him. Just got resupplied. Spoon's taking some damage.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting a lot of.
I think they got an ICT. They have at least one ICT out here.
Looks like. Let me check. Quinn. No, I don't think they're running ICT. Hod is running Ion, and he's PKing. He's doing a great job here of trying to put pressure on. The morale is moving Savrip's way, but the bombers are doing their job here and putting in some massive damage. Yeah, they're going to get this out of Phasable. This is tough here. Savrip is got to be faster on the attack. Do you think that the beam will be able to do the work, Jareen?
Well, I mean, we'll see. They couldn't protect. Well, I couldn't. It's not fair to say they couldn't protect it. It got crashed into, but
smart thinking from it was Pally, right? It was smart thinking from Pally to use the defender.
Help is a resource. That's what I always say.
Here we go. Here comes
so they
Sagan.
got a single oop.
Oh, and the farm is
All right.
coming in fast. This is trouble here for Savrip.
Yeah,
We're already
I
half
was
morale.
watching Disco. He had packs lined up as it flipped. He's ready to go.
Baywatch very savvy here, doing a great job of just basically taking away.
Sagan did get a full bomb run off. He's waiting for a resupply.
Oh, Hod went down. Where's Lauren? Lauren has got to get the resupply out. Oh, the Savrips are in trouble.
Just got the resupply.
Yeah, Hod getting picked does not help.
They're not going to get this. They're going to be down an entire frig and a half here.
Yeah, only 3 AI.
It's kind of awkward. So they got D to half, but it still has half shield. So it's kind of awkward, right? I mean, you can't really oop it.
Well, I think what they can do here is the B-Wing, if it gets it down all the way, they can bomb oop it if they wanted to, which isn't a bad position to be in. The shields are going to fall. But, oh, Sagan gets dumped over. Can he escape?
Yeah.
He does
the resupplies were too slow. So Sagan had multiple times where he was in great position and was just out of ammo. It's just the resupplies were not on the right timing there.
I think that's because they got to pick on Hod. Getting the pick on Hod was critical for Baywatch here because it didn't allow for them to get more resupplies. Let's see. Yeah, the Baywatch is going to start steamrolling Charlie, but the morale's moving fast in Savrip's way. Savrip now has to be very quick here. Hod putting massive pressure on Brandon. Brandon trying to escape here. I don't think there's any follow-up, though, because Sagan... No, Sagan is, but he's on Power Paladin, so he's not focusing on the same target here. I think the split from Savrip is a little bit of panic, and they need to kind of calm themselves here. This isn't a bad defensive phase. Even though Charlie's starting to get to half, they burn the Raider and 2 AI, and they're back in this match. Jareen, what do you think?
I just noticed that they're in double support, so I'm pretty blown away by this whole lineup.
I think this is a holdover from the last beer league where Sagan and team had a great run. Oh, Sagan blowing it again on his run on the bombs. Oh man, they really give their advantage here. Beta is going to be out of phaseable. Do they let it go, or do they try and take the Raider? They're going to let the Raider burn the frigate here, so they need to be quick. They need to quickly burn that Raider, get the 2 AI, and come back here. I think they set up...
Sagan goes down.
Oh, unfortunate. Great pick. Great pick here. I think on the next attack phase, Savrip
goes down, though, in response.
Oh, they're going to have the out of phase. Yeah, this is not great. Savrip has to step a double out of phase here. They don't have a choice. If they don't get a double out of phase here, this game is over, and they're in a bad spot already because they don't have the B-Wing on the field.
I think they need to burn A here to buy the morale time. I don't think they can try to say going for a double seems pretty optimistic. I don't know.
Oh, the Raider's about to burn here. Disco Dino's all over it. They'll need 2 AI. I think Baywatch will be turning around here. Alpha isn't even out of phaseable yet. Oh man, this isn't great. This is not great for the Savrips. They have a lot to work through, and they have to protect a very exposed MC here. Do you think Baywatch takes it here in game 1 on this pass, Jareen?
I think Baywatch is doing a great job of keeping the B-Wing out, and if you keep the B-Wing out, you're giving up so much damage. See, Sagan had to sell out for the bombs there because he felt like he wasn't doing anything. That's not even Sagan's fault, honestly. Like, he's like, I got to get these bombs on target.
Yep.
You know, they're on me. I got it. It's kind of an impossible situation there.
And even worse, it looks like the Tenchi is going to get in on this MC. Yep, he's in. They got one shield gen. They're going to blow up the other. Yes, they get it. And here comes the gut.
Disco sold out for it, though.
Oh, you're right.
So they have a chance to defend because Disco sold out for the shield gen.
Let's see what Sagan does here. Sagan now has... Oh, Sagan is defending with... The Tenchi's disabled. No finish, though, from his supports. Hod trying to finish it off. Power goes down. Lauren is trying to help, but the Raider needs to go down here. The Raider will flip, so Sagan's got to do the work here, and they need to be fast.
Oh, he's got a bunch of weak spots lined up here on the top. Revenge.
Let's see it.
2 and 3. He just got 3, so it's at like, what, 25?
30.
Yeah.
It's at 29. They still haven't gotten the Raider. The Raider needs to fall. The Savrips need to collapse. There goes the Raider.
24, 23, 22,
it's
19.
Great job here from
Okay,
Baywatch.
so they got a 17 oop. They can oop that if they wanted.
Oh,
they don't need to, though. Honestly, they don't need to.
Let's see what they call
They can play it safe.
They are going to play it safe. Falls back is Baywatch. Baywatch going to burn the Corvette here. Yep, they're gonna start farming. This means Savrip have to win here. They don't have a choice. They gotta win here. Otherwise, this game is over. Oh, and down goes
Sagan
Sagan.
goes down. It's not happening. Yeah, that's that. I was gonna say B-Wing is a great desperation. Got to have a lot of damage right now, but when it dies like that, it's not gonna work.
I think Baywatch did a fantastic job of adjusting. They put a lot of pressure on Sagan in the open. Paladin had that great ram. And then throughout the entire match, they knew where they needed to put the pressure on Sagan. They actually didn't go after Sagan at first on every open. They put away one of the supports to reduce the resupplies, and they made it easy for themselves here. This is going to be a game. Savrip will have to put in out of phase range, but that's it. Sagan is just coming back in now, and game 1 will probably go to Baywatch unless something insane happens here in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, unless we see a 5 ICT defense here, I just don't see it happening.
And even then, at 18,
they do have a little bit of shield, but yeah, that's rough.
Tenchi making his way in now. Beacons will come out. Shields at 6. Beacons are out. Disco Dino is going.
Brandon sees a weak spot. Brandon got a weak spot. It's all over. 2-1. There we go.
Sorry on the opener, guys. Sorry. Game 1 goes to Baywatch in very, very convincing fashion. They did a fantastic job of leaving out the B-Wing and making it inoperable and being very quick on defense. This is the Baywatch of old, and they look very sharp here. Jareen, thoughts on Game 1?
I think the open was the key there. I think it was pretty even before they noticed or appreciated or adjusted to the B-Wing, and once about halfway through the open, they were Savrip pulled it back to about 40%, and then they laser focused on the B-Wing, kept it out. They couldn't get the Corvette. The farm was slow, and that was kind of the story of the whole match. They kept the B-Wing out. They kept one of the supports out, so the B-Wing always was kind of left hanging with no bombs in good positions, and that's not a bad place. That's a bad place to be when you're a B-Wing.
Agreed. And especially without the second Ewing to give the resupplies, they really fell behind on that first attack. And they were looking good at first, but then it became very obvious that without that second resupply, it fell apart. And then also I think Hod had the masks, which hurt Sagan even more because he had nowhere to hide, essentially. So it steamrolled. Baywatch was very strategic in their pressure, and they did a fantastic job here. So I think coming to game 2, Savrip need to adjust now, right? I mean, yeah, they're going Empire, but mentally they need to make sure they're not giving up an easy play here for Baywatch. What do you think happens here in game 2 from both sides?
I mean, you know me, I like to see double defender here on Empire, unless somebody's just super cracked at TIE Fighter. Otherwise, I would like to see the defender duo shut down Y-Wings. That's how you win on Empire. Defenders got to shut down Y-Wings.
Agreed. So, I mean, Savrip, will have to be very sharp on their PK here. They will need to win the open. They need to put massive pressure here. Looking at the lineup, unless something changes, I don't think Baywatch does something crazy here, especially after watching the B-Wing getting roasted. I think Baywatch sticks to meta here, right? They play 2-2-1 with NR here and try and hopefully they win the open, right?
I don't think I can say anything intelligent about Baywatch. They always do different shit.
Okay, while we wait for this next one, I think I was asked to show the Cavs. I'll show the Cavs really quickly. Jareen, any other thoughts while we wait?
No, that was a good match. It was unfortunate. Unique strategies are cool. Trust me, I know, and fun to play. But if they go sideways, it's kind of hard to recover, right? Because you put all your eggs in that basket, and it seems easy to be like, oh, we should just all switch to standard real quick. But you kind of, even though you could, you kind of don't because you feel committed to the strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I see the thing is, I especially there, they kind of got baited, right? They were catching up. They were doing good until Hod fell. So then you're right. At that point, they were like, okay, we're all in at this point. There's no reason to change away from it. Even though I think their defenses, regardless, were pretty good. They kept their defenses short. So they were able to.
No, the defenses weren't the problem. Honestly, yeah. They played really good on defense. The farm was good. The Corvettes came fast because of the B-Wing. It was just the offenses. Baywatch really laser focused on shutting down the B-Wing's cap ship damage, and the offenses were slow.
Let me send you.
That was the difference.
Let me send.
Yeah, I need the next pass.
Yep. Like the pass is going to change for game 2. It's up under Sagan. So yeah, I mean, this has been the story of Savrip's season. They didn't look bad, but they didn't look good either. And I think they need to really put a statement here. Even though they're, oh right, I joined the wrong way. Even though they're guaranteed to make the playoffs, you kind of want to come into the playoffs positive. You don't want to come in with a lot of losses on your hands, because mentally it kind of devastates the team, right? So you want to kind of turn it around here. They already took an 0-2 to Tempest, so you want to split here. And they have a very tough match against Beck Street Boys coming up this weekend, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So they want to split here and possibly split Beck if they can. Otherwise, they morally have to be strong coming into the playoffs.
What are we doing these days? Is this a 2 or a best of 3?
This is 2, 1-1.
Yep. All right, cool. So they got to win this one.
Yeah, they got to win this one. They want to split here. They want to stay in pace with Baywatch, and they want to be in a position to split with Beck or possibly win against Beck. But they don't have a good issue with Beck, so that's why a 1-1 here is very important for Savrip this time. No changes, I think. Right? No, Krieg is going to come in for Lauren?
Yep, I don't see Lauren.
Oh, this is interesting.
So Hot support.
Odd's playing support. That means Krieg is playing flex with Sagan. At least that's what I think. It could be something crazy.
Sense.
Here, we will go and you guys can watch it. I won't screw this up this time. God
What's your thing?
Oh my god, why is it black screen again? There we go. Well, that's a bug I need to have fixed. Anyway, yeah. So Krieg is coming in. It looks like if there is a 6-2-1, you're right, Hod would be the support. And Pat and Quinn just need to keep doing what they're doing on their side. Going over to Baywatch. Yep, same lineup. We expect a 2-2-1 fight here, so I think it's going to come down to who gets a pick on who in this match in the open here. I think open winner will win the match. That's my feeling. Jareen, what do you think?
Yes, typically true, but I don't know, man. I think for Empire, so I've been some of these. I use the word cute, but obviously I like some of the cute in our strategies. But I think where they fall apart is when you're behind. The way to come back is PK, right? That's the way to come back is when you're behind. And some of these strategies, like I think when we crafted a lot of our Y-wing strategies, they were able to PK from behind. It wasn't obviously the best at it, but it wasn't like impossible, right? Whereas this B-wing strategy, when you're behind, you gotta fucking commit, right, to the B-wing. You can't PK out of it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like those strategies where there's not really a backup plan. It's like if everything goes perfect, it's great, but if there's one problem, then we're fucked, right? I think that's why a lot of teams actually are better at Empire as a default, because defenders are awesome and it's really easy to PK from behind them.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's like everyone knows to do that, and I that's why I think a lot of comebacks happen from the Empire side.
Yeah. So this is why I think if Savrip wins here, they're gonna split this match. And Niwi here on the chat thinking that Savrip did not use enough B-wings. They should have went with 2 here. So maybe Niwi has a statement to make against Savrip in the playoffs. We'll see what happens here. Okay, coming out and our side, Baywatch. The pilots coming out for the Empire side is Savrip, and those pilots. No need to read down. Here we go. Which one will get their packs first?
Pally and Spoon and X-Wings, and Sagan and Krieg and Defenders. So I'm going to watch these Defenders. I'm going to see who they go on.
I will watch the Y-Wings because I love me some bombers. Disco and Revenge Brandon are trying to move in quickly. Meanwhile, Platt and Q are already on top of their packs. Empire advantage here showing who will get their packs first. We're going to find out. Platt has something lined up.
Brandon's lined up here by Sagan.
Ooh, Brandon under heavy pressure.
What a chaff. Amazing.
Krieg goes down. And there goes the Savrips. Oh, and Sagan goes down.
Too. Oh, my goodness.
Excellent counter pressure from Baywatch. Baywatch has come ready to play, and here it comes quickly from Baywatch. They're trying to take down Delta's shields. However, Savrip says, screw this. They're going to farm it out, and their farm is coming in pretty quickly. However, I think Hod has to be quick here on getting the Raider. He's holding back. trying to look for PK pressure. Jareen, from your perspective, what do you think here? What are you seeing and how this goes?
And that open was tragic. That's kind of a mental backbreaker. Well, let me see if Savrip can pull out of that. That's. I feel like the comms are in a bad place right now.
I would agree. And Disco Dino is running actually gunboat. And Delta is falling fast. They're going to get this out of phaseable even without the second beacon. Savrip has to be quick on the Raider here. Raider is going to fall very quickly, but Savrip now needs to do what Empire does best, and they need to fucking burn the shit out of one of these Raiders, one of these frigates. Otherwise, they're going to lose this match.
I love the gunboat here by Disco. As you know, I'm a gigantic fan of the gunboat. This is a perfect spot for it. If you win the, it's when you only running gunboat, only one gunboat. It's a little risky if you don't win the open, but obviously if you do win the open, it's huge.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Especially on a map like Galatan or Nigiri, the gunboat is an obvious play. You know, the farm is so bad, you might as well just forego one of your golos or multi-locks in order to just speed up damage for NR. Back to this match, though. It looks like Savrip says, screw this. They are burning through Charlie very quickly. However, Baywatch is trying to keep their defense. 30 seconds have passed. Oh, my God! That was like a 40-second defense from Baywatch. Amazing.
They can get the soup, though. I think they can get the soup if they want it. It's at 17.
Yeah, they will go through. But Daitenchi's actually, he just hangered. So he's coming back in now. There's going to be a little bit of a slowdown coming in from, down goes Disco. Yeah, there's going to be a massive slowdown from Baywatch. Savrip here has a chance to catch up.
They did get the oop.
Excellent. Morale is now sitting at roughly under half. There comes some more morale. Oh, Platt, a little bit of pressure. She bonks into a rock. She needs a resupply. Looks like the shields are out on the Raider. Savrip can be quick here with getting, yep, there comes a pack. Here comes Savrip. They can save this.
Well, Savrip can probably save the... No, they can't. Never mind.
Yes,
it's got 20.
They did not collapse fast enough, unfortunately. It's still a high oop. A little bit of work from Baywatch.
They have a gunboat, though. They have a gunboat, so it's not a high oop.
As a caster, I'm just trying to make it more interesting. But I do agree with you. I do absolutely agree with you. The gunboat will make it quick if they decide to. Actually, Disco has fallen back. They're just going to use the X-Wing, I think, here. Yeah, the X-Wing will do the solo out of phase. It's at 1. Out of phase is coming now. However, the shields and Alpha have fallen. They're at half morale. Savrip here has to be quick. If they get this out of phase range, they will have to then fall back and set up to get the farm going quickly.
If they keep the pace up, I think they're going to get this oop as well, and then it's going to be a really crazy flagship phase, I think.
Let's take a look here. I don't think...
Yeah, they got the oop.
The Raider is still up, though. The Raider's still up, and they're not burning it. I think Savrip has to go through here. Savrip is in trouble.
Shit. They need to call this now. If they notice.
Wait, no. Here comes the burn. Here comes the burn. 1 AI. Okay, so Savrip will have this out of phase.
Platypus should just kill herself. Okay, they got it. Never mind. All
right. Yeah, Platt would probably been the wrong one to go down. However, okay, here we go. Daitenchi is in. Platt had hangered, so their farm will be slow. Quinn has to be quick here. Krieg is in.
X-Wings are getting it unmolested, which is really bad for Empire here.
Beacons are coming out. Paladin is coming in. Paladin is going to have his run. They're got right side, left side is going to happen. Yep, there it goes. Here comes a burn. No morale has moved for Savrip. Savrip are in deep trouble now. They did not get the out of phase. They have not gotten any farms. Savrip has to be very quick here because the burn is going to be coming very quickly from Baywatch. There goes power. This is not looking good for Savrip. Thoughts, Jareen?
Looking like a classic one phase. We'll see what happens here.
This pizza's looking to be sliced. It is at 57 and falling quickly. Morale's
it's going too fast. Yeah. Oh, perfect lineup on the spots here.
Oh, and Spoon has stripped the bottom. ISD is out of phaseable easily.
I don't think they even need it. Well, actually, they might need it.
They will need it, but oh no, Sagan is going to come in. The frigate is at 11. They're going to use it to flip, but I don't think this will be it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They flip. But the ISD is at 14, 13. I think this is it. Baywatch has got this unless the Savrips can pull off.
Again, they got the gunboat, so they're going to have to do some crazy chaff, seeker defense here, shoot down all the torps. Craziness.
Torp is out. On top of that, Just no turrets on the bottom. It's at 4. The Tenchi is out, but it's a 1, and that is it. Baywatch will get this out of phase, and they'll 2-0 Savrip in very convincing fashion. Baywatch looking to return to form. They had 9 points in round 2. They're picking up 3 more points right here, and they're looking to gun for second place against Beck. This has been a great performance in Baywatch. Jareen, your thoughts on this?
That one was much closer, obviously. That one did come down to the flip. I think if Savrip wins the flip, they win the game there. The gunboat looks like it kind of made the difference, honestly.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, I mean, the open was a critical part. Getting Krieg on the kill and then picking up Sagan right at the flip really helped them because there's no PK pressure. They were very quick on their first offense, and then they were very quick on their second offense, even without Disco Dino in. I think Baywatch was clinical on all their attacks, and it showed tonight that the Baywatch of old is back in steamrolling damage. Yeah, they're not gonna be the best PK team out there, but they still got their picks where they needed, and they did the work to win this game. Let me get this out here. Let me see if they want to do interviews. I don't know if you have access on the other channel back now.
I don't. Not in SCL.
Oh, man.
Well, hold on. Let me see. I can see.
Can you see
Watch
interview?
Party Lounge.
We can use the watch party. We'll use the watch party then.
Oh, I can see interview 1. I can
Okay,
see interview 1.
So we'll go to interview 1. Let me see the one interviews first. So while we're waiting to hear about the interviews, yeah, very, very clinical from Baywatch. They will pick up 3 points here. There's 6 points. I think they will be head of Backstreet Boys here. So they have a matchup against Tempest, which no, they don't. They played Tempest already. Wait, what? Crap. Let me look at these weeks. I didn't look at. Okay. Let's go interview 1. They're ready to do it. Meet us in interview 1. Okay, let's go interview 1. Let's do it. Okay, joining us right now for an interview are tonight's winners, Baywatch. Congratulations, guys. Fantastic job. Fantastic job from you guys. Thoughts coming into this game against Savrip, and what your game plan was?
Well, so I think we had like a little bit of a rocky start at the beginning of the season. We were trying things out, and then once we got knocked into like the lower bracket, we tried out some new things. Switched to Tenchi to support, and just focused on our game plan, not trying to change up too many things. And we've won our last 5 games now, and I think it's working out well.
Yeah, I was just saying that before the game that you guys had the rocky start. You were clinical in the second round, which was expected of you. But I think it's more telling here in round 3. You guys have really figured out your lineup, and it's really showing here. I missed your first game, and I'm trying to look up who you guys played in this first game in round 3 here. But you guys,
it was Tempest.
Tempest, we 2-0. We won 2-0 Tempest.
You 2-0 Tempest?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's showing. So I mean, that's great, right? It's showing that the changes you've made since round 1 have worked, and you guys looked amazing here against Savrip. So coming to game 1, did you expect the B-wing, or did you adjust on the fly on the B-wing when you saw it coming out?
That was very much an on-the-fly adjust. We had our Pally and I. Everyone had their intentions of what we were doing. Pally and I were going to go for a Y-wing kind of thing, and then Tenchi, the god himself, yelled out, "There's a B-wing on the field! There's a B-wing on the field!" And we were like, "All right." Pally and I, it's almost like in our cockpits, looked at each other. We're having some B-wing for dinner tonight, So
I think Jareen spotted it, that because I saw the adjustment, but Jareen said, "Here comes Pally," and then Pally smartly rammed Sagan in order to get the kill. So I mean, unfortunately, Pally's not here.
I don't know if I want to give Pally full credit for intentional ramming, but that's what happened.
It was intentional. It was intentional. I swear.
100%.
I also rammed Sagan again on when he was going for Raider in that our first offense, but I didn't get the kill on him. I was so disappointed.
You guys, and I think when me and Treen were talking the match, you guys knew exactly which target to go after through the entire match. You got to pick on Hod on the first attack, which screwed their resupplies. And then on their second attack, you basically zoned out Sagan from doing any work while the bombers just were amazingly fast on defense. Like, honestly, you guys hit the marks perfectly. And again, the question is that was that on the fly planning, or was it just really synergy from you guys in terms of how that game flowed?
I think it's a bit of both. You can do both. You can have on the fly like decision making, but you trust your teammates enough to know, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I trust you with like you make a call out for something. Like we know each other well enough, I think, and we built that synergy. You were talking about how we went through round 2 and started coming back around the streak. Now I think we definitely found a lot of that foundation we were looking for as a team, where we can trust each other. I mean, we were down one of our dedicated bomber players tonight, as we were right before game 2. We were like, well, who's going to fly a Y-wing in this? We were like, there was a point where I was like, am I going in the Y-wing, and we settled on Disco in it because we trust each other enough to know. Well, Disco is obviously someone who can fly bomber and get the job done, and we got the job done.
Yeah, that was obvious. I mean, the funny part is that me and Jareen were, before game 1, we were trying to figure out, okay, who plays support, who plays bomber, because you guys are capable of doing that. And that's kind of your advantage here. But in the same instance, you guys found your roles tonight in a very positive way. And especially with one game to go into the playoffs, I think if even, let me look at this really quickly. You guys got 9 points, 7. So Backstreet needs to 2-0 Savrip to stay in pace with you guys. But if you won one back, you guys will be the number 1 seed going to the playoffs. So I think you guys are in a really great spot here in terms of vibing and hitting the stride at the right time. And it shows even game 2. Like I really have nothing to ask about game 2. Like it just, if I were to show people here on the stream a meta game 2 was that meta game where like this is how you play the meta from an NR perspective on Galatans. You guys were fantastic. I mean, Jareen, did you have any questions or thoughts for these guys in terms of the overall game or game 2 even?
No, so for game 2, I loved the gunboat, as you know, Y-wing aficionado over there. I love the gunboat there. I do think it's a little risky. If you lose the open, it kind of feels bad when you only have 3 farm boxes, but you won the open, so it did not feel bad. And, that enabled you to get I think 1 out of phase you probably shouldn't have, and then it made the IST attack super easy. So, like, I love the gunboat there.
It's funny you say that too, because I think you and I on stream were like, oh, Savrip's going to flip this, so they're not going to have the out of phase. And then Disco was just chucking torps. They're like, oh, no, it's out of phase. Well, never mind.
Yeah, one of the awesome things about that game was just how quick the phases were. I mean, like, especially for Galatan, like, I don't know, those flips seemed incredibly fast on both sides.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because on your second defense, we're sitting there saying, oh, can Savrip get out of phase? They have some time here. All of a sudden, a pack and a half came in. And we're like, well, nope, Savrip's in trouble here. And really, you guys showed, both sides on defense showed why you are in Group A, right? Because on Galatan, the defenses you put up all night were fantastic. And really, this was a game of defense on the offense, essentially. And you guys were better at protecting your defensive phase and stopping Savrip from doing the offensive damage. And then on the flip side, you guys were just amazing on the offensive damage. And it really was the story of the night in both games, and it was fantastic to watch. As a caster, it was fantastic to watch. As a Savrip player, it was hard to watch.
It was amazing.
I will say one thing about the damage in game 2. There were if you count like the full ox load that everyone has between me and Disco, there were 7 torps on the field, right?
Yeah.
Pally still got 90k damage, more than both Disco and I, while running conks. So.
Well, Pally also got like four crit spots, so that helps.
Okay, good. Thank you. I don't want rain in my stream saying that conks are the answer. So thank you for covering, please. Thank you.
Well, conks are the answer. I wanted to run them themselves, and I'm like, no, I gotta run dirty old boring torps.
Sit outside at range and fire them on any point. Whatever.
Torps are not boring. More torps the better. You know me.
Jareen, any other closing thoughts for these guys before we bring in the Savrips?
No, that was a great series. I think the adjustments were good, and the flexibility from the lineup can sometimes be a weakness because you got no one that's like tippy top in their role, but other times when you implement the flexibleness well, like you guys did, it's a big strength.
I agree, and I'm excited to see you guys versus Backstreet. I think that might be, to everyone watching, a preview of the championship game, possibly. So I would definitely come out and watch that. But I'm not saying that is the championship game. Tempest always has something to say, and maybe Savrip digs deep to find it. Though Night Witches and Cabernet Blue are always there. So hopefully your guys next year's against Backstreet might be a preview for you guys. If not, good luck in the playoffs, and I expect great things of you guys, especially with your turnaround. Great job from me to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Good night, guys. Okay, let's bring
Have a good night.
Savrips. Come to interview 1. Tempasta? Should I call him Tempasta? Sorry. Oh, and joining us now is Quinn from the Savrips. Tough loss tonight for you guys. But I think, you know what, the bright spot for me, and something we just said to Baywatch, is the defenses are very strong. I think the story of the night was your guys' offense. Coming into game 1, you guys wanted to do B-Wings. It didn't work out the way you thought it would, but, from your perspective, Quinn, what are your thoughts on the B-Wing, how it played out, and kind of why it fell apart?
Well, to be entirely honest, I'm still a mild B-Wing skeptic. However, I do have faith in Sagan, and I also have faith in Lore and Hod in their ability to stay alive and support ships and keep the B-Wing alive. Obviously, anyone who knows Sagan knows he's a B-Wing aficionado. And he's been wanting us to run the Yub comp for some time.
He bought a whole team in the pre-beer league just to prove it works. So yeah, I think he's definitely a aficionado.
And we practiced it. We practiced it on and off, and we also definitely really drilled it today. And we felt that this was the time to bring it out. Obviously, Baywatch wised up pretty quick and did a very good job of just completely locking Sagan out.
Yeah, you know what, and I think, and that's the story I want to, and that's the story I kind of asked Baywatch the same to you guys. They, in the opening, they quickly identified Sagan, killed him, and you guys just couldn't keep up with the farm, and they burned the Raider to win, right? But as the game went on, they actually adjusted and put pressure on Hod or Lauren to throttle Sagan away, so that way Sagan was more prone. From your guys' side, did you identify that, or what was the feeling on how to get back into the game after you lost the open in order to make the B-Wing work, and match with the game speed?
Well, the way that the vibes were going, because I mean, I don't remember everything from the heat of battle, but the vibe was generally okay. Well, we lost the open, but we do have myself and Platt on the farm, which means we'll get the job done pretty quickly. Plus, we have the morale from Sagan's quick Raider burn, and then once Raider's down, he can help with farm, PK, whatever it is, get more morale. We were confident that we could flip things around. Our defenses were no problem. It was
absolutely
the offenses where, we're like our defenses were super quick. It was just the offense where the B-Wing was boxed out completely, and attempts to kind of clear a path for Sagan didn't really pan out.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of, I mean, as much as my ego hates to admit it, we were outplayed.
Yeah, I think, and I said, attack 1, they got Hod, so the mask was gone. Attack 2, they successfully were able to get morale quickly through their own quick defense, and like you said, boxing out Sagan. So I mean, it's food for thought in that. Game 2, it looked like you guys were gonna come out strong. I saw that you and Platt came on your packs quickly, but then Krieg took a death, Sagan took a death, and then you were behind again in game 2. So what was the thought process going into that as you were losing the open? How you guys were pushing back, trying to catch up. What was the feeling coming to that, and like, how do we turn this around, kind of deal in game 2? And what was your feeling through that game? What was your team's feeling through that game?
Well, like you pointed out, the open went pretty well for us to start. Things were looking good, and then with Sagan and Krieg taking unfortunate deaths, that did throw us back. And well, our mindset really was like, I mean, well, it's the only thing you can be in a situation like that. It's okay. Well, we lost the flip. That's bad, but it doesn't mean the game's over. We just need to do fast defenses and, so just try to play around it. And to Platt and I's credit, our defenses were still super tight.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
flipped things very quickly. In fact, so I'm severely out of practice. There was a couple of weeks where I just straight up didn't play the game because I had a lot of urgent life shit going on, and it's a long story. So I've only been able to consistently play again for about a week or two. So it's been a rough time for me getting back in form. But game 2, I kind of felt like I had a little bit of my mojo back. Like things felt fast, things felt smooth. Had we ended that defense on ISD sooner, we might have had a chance of taking MC from them. But what it is, it was really just a matter of losing open and just not being able to overcome that momentum.
I mean,
so of all of the open losses that were winnable, right? That one I think was pretty winnable. The big issue there was the X-Wings got in completely unmolested on their ISD attack, which, that's textbook when you can get the free double disable plus the support going for power, and then it's really tough, right? After that.
On top of that, the farm was slow, right? That was the one thing I noticed after Jareen had pointed that out on stream, was that they got the free double disable, and the farm came in slow, so it was kind of like, did you guys go all in on defense, or kind of what happened in the panic?
Well, what happened farm does what it sometimes does on Galatan, especially for Empire, where X-Wings start splitting up and you're finding singles and maybe 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're picking up scraps basically.
Yeah. And that's
it
hard.
It's as far as I'm aware, there's basically no way to prevent that from happening. It just happens sometimes. Even if your AI farm is meticulous and perfect and you're cleaning up packs 5 at a time, eventually sometimes you will have situations like that. And it's, as a farmer, my job is to blast those X-Wings and blast Raider if needed. I can't focus on the defending gens.
Honestly, the sad part is, because I've been in that position, right? The sad part is one of the bomber pairs has to kind of make this mental check, like, okay, we're getting 1s and 2s. I'm going to stop farming. I'm literally going to start farming to let the other pair kind of catch up on their packs, whatnot, and kind of reset, right? I've done that where I've gone burn the Raider, or I PK'd for 10, 20 seconds just to let the packs kind of reform themselves. I know what you're saying. It kind of sucks because you feel helpless, because you are helpless, right? Your job, you said, is blast the AI as quickly as possible, but if you're
I wasn't trying to say Quinn needed to stop the X-Wings from getting in. I was just saying that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that when the worst feeling as a bomber on either faction is when you're scrambling for AI and then you hear the sound of 2 gens being dunked and then power popping. God. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, you're right, absolutely. Because then you feel absolutely helpless, because you're just in there. Well, what do I do now to speed this up?
It's I'm doing my job, so I'm not doing anything wrong, but I feel like I should be doing something.
More, yeah. Actually, before I ask my playoff question, Jareen, any other questions about tonight's games or any thoughts for Quinn here before I ask my playoff question?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay, so, a tough loss tonight for you guys. 0-2 again. You have Backstreet Boys coming up. You can play spoilers here. I think if you 2-0 Backstreet Boys, you will finish ahead of them. If you split them, you still have a shot at finishing ahead of them. But more importantly, it's been a rough season for you guys. And I'm saying this as a caster, not as, I being eternal to you guys, I know it's been a rough season and it's been tough. How do you guys go into the playoffs? I know, it can be tough with how the season's gone, but what is the adjustment you guys think you need to make in order to be successful in the playoffs? You guys have the talent, you have the team, and I personally believe you guys can still be a force to fight for the championship. But coming into this, what do you think you guys need to do in order to be successful here? And what do you need to do going into these playoffs in order to push forward and get past the first round at least?
Really, the word is just practice. It was this particular stretch, this last month or two, was just a very weird time for a lot of us. A lot of us were very busy. I ended up going MIA for a couple of weeks, which, not MIA, people knew what was going on with me, but I was gone for a while and that threw a wrench in things. It's just that schedules didn't line up and we weren't able to get practices in. But going into playoffs, we know that we got to buckle down and just try and squeeze in as many reps as we can. Because I mean, you're not going to win or not even make it to semis if you don't practice.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. So right now it's looking like if Baywatch and I'm actually projecting Backstreet Boys to finish ahead of Tempesta, but we'll see. Because Temp has already finished all their games. Well, we'll see. So either Tempest, Baywatch, or Backstreet Boys will finish 1-2. You guys will probably finish 4th unless you upset Backstreet Boys and get some help. So it's looking like Siren or Caravan Angels Blue will be 5 and 6. It's not going to be easy for you guys. I don't know how the playoffs brackets are working, if they're going to take 8 or 6. But regardless, you guys will have some tough PK teams against you because Siren, Cab, Hive Guard are there. It's definitely going to be. I did pick the points up. It's going to be tough for you guys. So I expect you guys to do well in the playoffs. And I'm saying that now as a Savrip pilot, of course, a little bit. But in the same instance, I think you guys had the reality check tonight, and I'm hoping that you guys walk away from this reality check and say, okay, fuck this, forget the season, we're in the playoffs. Let's go fucking win some rounds, right? Let's win some games.
We knew that we were going into this one not at peak strength just because we haven't been able to get together as often. But since I am in a much more consistent and stable place now, and I can't speak for the others, but since playoffs are so close, we all know that this is the time to buckle down. And yeah, as Laura's saying in the chat, I don't expect easy. There's no such thing as an easy match in this game. Like, all the people above us in Division A are going to be tough matches, and the people immediately below us, like the top seeds of Division B, are also going to be tough matches. Like, at this stage in the game's meta, right, in this scene, there is no such thing as an easy match.
Absolutely. Jareen, any closing thoughts here for Quinn and Savrips?
No, I think, like I said, I said it in this during the match. I think off-meta, cute strategies, whatever you want to call them, they're great. I love them. Obviously, I did one of them, but we actually put a lot of thought into if everything doesn't go perfectly right, can it still maybe do something? And then I think that's where we arrived at, having some ability to PK with some of our lineups, having an ability to switch out players or ships. And I think the issue with the B-Wing thing is that it either steamrolls or it gets steamrolled, and there's not a lot in between, right? So everything either goes right and you win running away, or it completely falls apart and you're like, what the fuck do we do now? And it feels, I think I said this with Rebel, in the middle of a match, it feels bad to say, okay, fuck it, switch to X-Wings, we got to do something different, even though that's probably the right thing to do. But like, you have this like sunk cost fallacy of like, we're doing this strategy. So it's just, I think it's really cool. I think the B-Wing's a cool ship, but it's tough. I think the execution ceiling is super high. And it was really frustrating to watch Sagan. He was in perfect position for a lot of these loops, and just no bombs. It's like, and he can only sit there with no bombs for so long. He's going to get singled out eventually.
Yeah. Sagan gets singled out, or when he wasn't being singled out, he had no bombs. And Y-Wings are sad because, with shields up, we can't do much of anything.
Yeah. It's tough, but Jareen is absolutely right. Like, finding these adjustments for the playoffs could be important, right? Because if it worked, it would look great, right? It would look great on stream. It would look great for you guys, but that Baywatch adjusted very quickly and exposed you guys. So finding these adjustments for that strategy is important. And I think in a way, Sagan tipped his hand to the pre-beer league by showing it can work, but now everyone thought about, okay, how do we stop this? And Baywatch came ready with a game plan, even though they weren't expecting it. Like, so it was very, very savvy from Baywatch in order to do that. So I agree with Jareen. That's something you guys have to look at if you're going to continue using the formation, essentially.
Yeah, we were expecting them to adjust and shut us down, but I guess we weren't 100% prepared for how laser guided that shutdown was. I mean, we it's not like we ran that comp without knowing the risks. I mean, anyone with a brain cell knows the risks of a B-Wing comp.
Yeah.
But, and I had my doubts, but I trust my team. So, if that's the call, then I'm going to just do my thing and, contribute my weight.
Yep. I mean, tough loss tonight, so good luck to you guys as you prep for Backstreet Boys. Again, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, so everyone on the stream. I don't know who's streaming it yet, but we'll find out for you, and we'll announce it to everyone. Good luck to you guys for Savrip. Hopefully you get a split at least, if not a 2-0 against Backstreet Boys, and good luck in the playoffs. As a Savrip pilot, I'm hoping that you guys do well, and that you have a strong playoff performance, or a championship. Bring home a championship for us for once, please.
Trust me, no one wants a Savrip championship more than me. I've put so much blood, sweat, and tears in this fucking org.
I think you and I have now been here the longest, so I understand. Trust me, I even though I'm not flying with you guys this season, of course I'm always cheering and hoping that you bring it home. So good luck, and I hope you guys do bring home a championship this season.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for the cast.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. And so with that, we're going to close this up. Jareen, any closing thoughts for the people that are watching about either this match or the playoffs?
No, this was fun. Thanks for letting me jump in at the very, very literal last second.
And for me, Jareen, this was actually, I too had a lot of fun with this cast. You were great. It's interesting because I think both you and I analytically are very similar in analyzing a match and looking at the strategies. So it was kind of fun to kind of have in the middle of this match like these deep thoughts about, oh, what are they going to do here to adjust? So it's a lot different when I have other casters. It's more like an action cast, whereas here I actually got to do the analytical stuff a lot more. So I really enjoyed this cast view. So thank you for joining me last night. I'm really glad you did it.
Yeah, I had a good time. My availability is all over the place, so it'll be like this where it's last second. So hopefully you can take me in again.
I'll hit you up for the playoffs. I'm gonna try and get some playoff matches. I'll definitely here for the playoffs.
Ah man, weekends are tough, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think this playoffs isn't to everyone in the stream. I don't think the playoffs is a one-day thing. I think it's gonna be ad hoc, on demand. So
the Mad Lads actually did it.
Yeah, I think they changed it. I think they changed it this season.
Yeah. Of course, after I quit.
Yeah.
Fucking course.
So that means come back next season, right? That's what that means.
Take that up with someone else, not me.
I understand. Well, okay, thank you for joining me. And thank you, everyone, tonight for joining me on this, me and Jareen on this cast for an SCF production of the SCL match in Baywatch at Savrip Prime. I'm going to go to end of cast, but then I'm actually going to stay on air because I'm going to play some Overwatch. So if you want to stay watching, play some Overwatch, give you about 5 minutes. Otherwise, thank you guys and have a good